Hello, YouTubers. Welcome back to Yorkshire Media One. I am Mark, your host, your presenter, whatever you want me to be. Yes, I am. Cheaper and better than the BBC. So, what are we talking about? Well, this is going to be Sunday Talk with Mark about me talking about myself, where I was born, and how I grew up, and things like that. So, you get a better insight into a YouTube creator, basically. And it was suggested by one of my subscribers, even though I said I've done it before, so I'll do it again, for those who don't know. So, like I said, my name is Mark. I was born in 1966, the 18th of July, in a place called 19 Industrial Street, Aubrey Junction. That's where I was born, Industrial Street, Aubrey Junction. And Industrial Street, Aubrey Junction, near Wakefield. And that's what it says on my birth certificate. So, yeah, I was born. I think it's classed as a village, really, is Aubrey, because it's only small, it's not very big. I was born there, and then we moved to 16 Robin Hood Crescent. I was only a few months old, according to my mum, and that. So, in the same year, my mum and my dad moved to 16 Robin Hood Crescent in Luxwick, Wakefield. So, like I say, I was born in Aubrey, then we moved, and I was brought up in Luxwick for my first 4 years. So, yeah, so 16 Robin Hood Crescent, that's where I grew up. And I did have friends and things like that. Started school, age of 3, I started, 1969, the age of 3, that's my first proper memories. I started supporting Leeds United for my sins and things like that. And also in 1969, I got into Formula 1 racing and things like that. Like motorbike racing as well at the same time. 1970, I started my first school, which was Snakethorpe Junior School. That didn't last long because the school said I was too slow and things like that, and I couldn't keep up. And then my mum found out. I was tested, and my mum found out I was, slow and dyslexic, and that, so I was word blind and stuff like that. But what the junior school didn't understand is, this is what I would try to tell them: if you show me how to do something, I can do it. But they didn't believe. But they said no. So I said the same to my mum. I says, if you show me a word, how to do that word, I'll copy it. Mum says, it can't be that easy. So my mum tried it, and she did a K, line, okay, kicking K. And I went, line, and it was that easy. But my mum was told about education. Yes, he's slow and dyslexic, he needs to catch up and things like that. This is the best school. So I went to a special school. The first special school I went to was Bellevue Special School. And I was there. I wasn't there for too long because they had a new school, a new special school built at Robin Hood. At Ranwood Hill Special School up on St George's there, where St George's Church and Snakethorpe School was, and our school were there. So we moved from Bellevue eventually, but my mum and dad had to move to Bellevue, and they did. They bought an house and moved into Bellevue, and I was there. I think I was there for, I think we moved into, what did we move into? Yeah, well, I think we moved into the new school, round about 6, when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and that, because I left from Ranwood Hill. So Bellevue School were getting old, and Council and Education Board wanted us to move into this new modern school, which we did. It's a lot, the smaller you get, smaller. How can I put it? Special school where I was, there were only 10 children in one class. There weren't that many, and we did get one-to-one tuition if we needed the extra help. I did in the beginning, but I soon caught up. and they soon found out my favourite lesson and things like that. Oh, lessons what I would really concentrate on, i.e. history and things like that. Woodwork as well and cooking, and I did all that. You know what I mean? I like my pottery as well. I like my woodwork and things like that. So that was the first skill, and my mum had to move to Bellevue. I had friends around that area at the time, and I still do. So I moved there, and then my mum and dad didn't really get on all that well. And that's all there was domestic. I'm not going to go into it, but there was some domestic violence, and I witnessed all that. And obviously, I was told not to say anything. What happens behind closed doors should stay behind closed doors. But i.e., my mum got a divorce from my dad, and I moved in with my stepdad at 29 Denmark Street. And that, my mum got married to Brian later on, and stuff like that. So everything were alright, you know, everything were hunky-dory, I suppose. So I suppose I went through some kind of mental health because of domestic violence. I know I had to have what they call a child psychologist and things like that to help me, make me understand and things like that. You know what I mean? It did hurt and things like that. But there you go. So yeah, so my childhood, so some parts were bad, some parts was good. Must admit, when I was with, when my mum and Brian got together, my childhood changed for the better in that way. I always had that cloud over me that my dad wanted to see me, but in a way, yeah, my mum made me see him. I didn't want to. I could have quite easily chucked in the towel, but my mum won't let me. Things like that. I always come second best to him in any case. I didn't come first. I never did. My mum and Brian put their priorities with me first. I do respect my stepdad for what he taught me and how he brought me up on that. Yeah, I was brought up strict, but not too strict, if you know what I mean. Found out at I did find out. I mean, when were it? We used to go on holiday to like Filey, Butlins, Mablethorpe, and things like that. But people will be asking, where did I get on the collecting thing? Well, that came a little bit later, and that, like I said, I was born in 66, 69. I was, being brought up before I went to my first school, then my second school, things like that. Like I say, classed as dyslexic and slow and things like that. So, but like I say, my favourite subject was history, and that. Not much really to tell. 1976, 10, that was a good summer. 70s wasn't a very good year for like people like my mum and dad. Yeah, my mum and my dad were working, and my stepdad would work. My mum and my stepdad were working to put food on the table. But when you think about it, the 70s wasn't a very good year. Labour, it was the year of striking. Labour was in, car industry were collapsing and things like that. It all changed in 1979 when you got to understand, I saw the first woman Prime Minister, I saw the first mobile phones and stuff like that. So, there you go. So, somewhere in 1976, I used to play out, I loved it, and that. And yeah, it was good. My mum were dog breeding at the time, where she was breeding snouts, French bulldogs and things like that. So we were going to dog shows as well. I've been to loads of dog shows through my life, and that. And like I say, it is all that. And then when I left, and then obviously when I did leave school at 16, I did youth opportunities and things like that. And I did get a full-time job, but that didn't really last long. And then I went into the community. Job centre used to have these community jobs on blue cards. I did a couple of them. They were lasted only a year and things like that. Then my dad needed a carer. Around about 1980, 83, 83 of medical. He couldn't work ever again, so I became his carer in 1984, 18, so I became his carer, got an house, 16 Portobello Grove, and moved him in there, and I became his carer, and then my dad was getting bored of that, but like I say, I became his carer for a long time. 97, I got my first job in security, with security code guarding and things like that, because my dad, he wasn't all, and that, but then he went downhill in 99, so I had to stop work and look after my dad again until, unfortunately, he passed away in 2003 of November that year. So 76, he wasn't bad. Yeah, good innings with that. My mum died going back to 1997. My mum died in 1997. Age 59, through having a bad heart and things like that. So I had to call it an heart attack. What killed her? Stuff like that. So that's really me. There's nothing really. But where did the interest to collecting came? Well, that came later on, obviously. I mean, it came when I got my first video and TV combo and things like that. I mean, what I have missed out is 1986 I got married. I'm not proud of that. But I got married and then divorced in the same year because she was messing about, things like that. And then I got remarried afterwards in, well, 1991. I got remarried to my second wife, and that's where it all came. The collecting of videos and things like that. That happened. Started collecting VHS videotapes, and then when they were going out, I sold all them off, and I started collecting DVDs, and I've been doing it from, well, 93, 94, about 94, 95. I've been collecting DVDs. Collecting cars from 1992. I've been collecting cars from 1982, so I've been Hot Wheels and that. That's new to me, but it wasn't, because I used to collect the Corgi cars as well, and other static vehicles as well. Yeah, so I collected all them. That's where the collecting bug came in. I've never really grown up and things like that, so yeah, I know it's a bit awkward, but there you go. And then, yeah, then obviously I was divorced in 95. My kids are in Australia. My two kids are in Australia, so I do get to talk to them now and again, so nothing to worry about there. What else can I add? Oh yeah, obviously I celebrated 1999 New Year's Eve, the millennium. That was the last time I got drunk. It really was. Passed my car test in 97. Started with cars, buying and selling cars and things like that. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit about me. If you want to know more, I will tell you more. So I got to remember where I got. So yeah, I got to 99, well, 97, 1999. So if you want to know more, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this and I haven't bored you, please give me a thumbs up. Please like, please subscribe if you do, hit the bell icon at all. That will let you know when I'm uploading another video. Please, it's free to subscribe to Yorkshire Media 1 and Gen V72. Gen V72 is on X under Gen V72. I'm on X under Yorkshire Media 1. So please check us out on X if you would like to. Also share the video to your friends and your family and to other social media like X, Facebook and Instagram. Use the comment section below. Let me know what you think to this video. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Catch you all later.